Of course I believe in humanitarian law, but I won't enforce it unless you're my friend.
I find it crazy that liberal centrists will virtue signal about following humanitarian law and supporting equality, but when it comes to the rubber hitting the road, when it comes to enforcing it, they're nowhere to be seen if it affects their allies. The UN Security Council has called for an immediate ceasefire in their latest resolution. However, the US decides that it's not binding, even though every UN Security Council resolution is binding according to the UN Charter and humanitarian law. Liberal centrists will obfuscate the situation, they'll lie and they'll deceive you, but the truth remains the same. And in this following clip, we'll see how Destiny, another liberal centrist, is being schooled on this particular point.
You want to dismiss international law, that's fine, but then you have to do it consistently. You can't set standards for the Palestinians, but reject applying those standards to Israel. If we're going to have the law of the jungle, then we can all be beasts, and not only some of us. And I think, so it's either that, or you have certain agreed standards that are intended to regulate our conduct, all of our conduct, not just some of us.
What
so
are the
that's a
standards you think I'm
fundamental.
saying to abandon?
Well, you're saying, international law and the millionth UN resolution, you're being very dismissive about all
Well,
these
I'm
things.
saying,
And that's fine,
well, I'm not
but
being
then you have
dismissive.
to be
I'm
dismissive
just saying, like, for instance, like
across the
242,
board.
that was a Chapter 6 resolution. That's non-binding. But 242
Of
is
course it's
saying-
binding.
What
Of
is-
course it's
absolutely
binding.
not
What is binding? Do you know anything about how the UN system
binding.
works?
If it commits you to
Yeah,
upholding
okay.
a particular international law, or if it
What
establishes
is
a new
Chapter
law,
6? You just throw out words. You hear binding,
does
not
242
binding.
does 242
Chapter-
mention a Palestinian state?
No.
Norm.
Of course
That's
not.
part of the
Okay,
problem.
then-
That
Yeah,
was the
exactly.
reason why the
So-
Palestinians
let me-
didn't want to recognize 242, because it only referred at the very end
Sure,
to
but
a
the PLO
refugee
recognized
problem.
181 and 242. When they
Yeah,
made
but
their
hold on,
original-
hold on. Every United Nations Security Council resolution, irrespective of under which chapter it was adopted, is by definition binding. Binding not only on the members of the Security Council, but on every member state of the UN. Read the UN Charter. It's black and white.
Sure.